I'm Trainer Tip with Tackle It with Tip, and this is your Pep Talk Tuesday. Today I want to talk to you guys about not just what you're eating, but how much. So a lot of times, I talked in my Be Honest video about what foods you should be eating and what is healthy food and what isn't. But I also want to talk to you guys about portion sizes. So you may think that you know how much you're eating, but you probably don't. There are several different websites and books and tons of research out there. Now, I'm not a dietitian and I'm not a nutritionist. So if you need specialized information for you personally, then you need to speak to one of them because they'll take all of your personal information into account. However, there are lots of different resources out there. So to give you a better idea of how much you should be eating of what. And there are certain categories that you need to pay attention to. Protein, obviously, carbohydrates, and fats and sugars. So you need a lot of protein. I tell all of my clients you need protein at every single meal. Carbs, you need a lot more than you think that you do. Fats are completely essential. And that's why there are supplements called essential fatty acids, because they are essential. In order to lose fat, you need to eat fat. Now, here's the other thing. It's quality over quantity. So you want to go for a quality calorie or fat as opposed to a crap calorie or crap fat, as I call them. Technical term. So, that's another thing to pay attention to. So, when you start eating clean and when you start eating much healthier foods, something that you need to accommodate for is the fact that you are eating nutrient-dense foods, but not calorie-dense foods. Other than like nuts and avocados, where you get your fats from, those are usually more calorie-dense, except for fish, obviously. But you're usually eating more nutrient-dense foods as opposed to calorie-dense. And you don't realize how much an ounce of meat is until you get a food scale. So that's something else that I was going to mention, everybody. Kelsey Byers is a fitness model and Labrada sponsored athlete, and something that she greatly pushes is to get a food scale. And my husband and I got one, and I have to say, I back her up on this. I'm all for it, Kelsey. Get a food scale. Seriously, you don't realize how much you're not eating, because we buy chicken in large bags that had supposedly 20 servings of 4 ounces. It doesn't. We found that out the hard way last night when we started putting things on the scale. It didn't have as much as it said that it did. And so, we had to reorganize all of our meals for the week to accommodate for that, to make sure that we're getting all of the protein that we need, as well as carbs. My husband looked up information for himself, found out that he needed more carbs than what he was eating, which really made sense why his body wasn't gaining the way that he wanted it to. So that's the other thing. You have to know exactly what your goals are with your body. So if you're trying to gain mass, you need to accommodate for that. You need to make sure that you're taking in enough fuel to allow your body to build. You cannot build muscle out of nothing. If you're running on fumes by the end of the day because you're not eating enough, your body actually tries to store everything that you eat as fat so that it can survive. It's a survival mechanism. So, if you're eating small amounts and you're not losing weight anymore, you're actually gaining or maintaining, that tells you straight off the bat that you need to change up your eating. I had a client that came to me and, she recorded her eating for 2 days, and she even told me, she said, I've been stuck at a plateau for about a year. A year! Can you believe the plateau of a year? I would be so upset. So, she was stuck for a year at this weight, and after reading what she was eating for a couple of days, it was so obvious. She wasn't eating enough. Flat out, not eating enough. And when you're having only 1 cup of strawberries for a meal, or only 1 plum, or only 1 apple, you're not eating enough, especially when you're working out. Especially for my boot camps kind of workout, because we push really, really hard. So I need everybody to be properly fueled for those workouts. So, to see that she wasn't eating enough, and, and here's the other deal. A lot of times people go on diets, and I hate that word. So they go on diets, and they think that they're going to lose weight. Well, if it's not a lifestyle, it's not something that you're going to maintain, which means that it's only going to be something that you do for a short period of time. If you want to stay slimmer and stay in a healthier state, then you need to actually take on healthier lifestyle, not just a quick diet to drop some pounds, because then when you go back to eating what you were previously, you're just going to gain all that weight back. So make sure that you're doing a healthy lifestyle so that it's something that you'll stick with. So something as simple as we upped her food, literally told her, you're not eating enough. You are starving yourself, essentially. And so, told her that she needed to be eating a lot more, especially protein and carbs, and, cutting out on some of the sugars and everything like that. Within 1 week, she dropped 2 pounds. Easy, done. She automatically is seeing progress. She's working hard on her workouts, which is fantastic. But especially when you're not taking in enough food, your body can't properly use its resources. So, especially for guys, if you want to build muscle, girls, if you want to build a butt, make sure that you're fueling that butt. Make sure that you're eating enough chicken, turkey, beef, whatever. Make sure that you're getting all of the nutrients that you need in order to build it properly. Muscle needs fuel. You cannot build it out of nothing. So, and again, you can't sculpt what you don't have. So if you have no underlying muscle, you can't get a nice sculpted figure. Just the way that it works. So, again, fuel your body properly. Make sure that you're having well-balanced meals. Check how much you're actually getting, because you're probably not getting enough. I thought that I was getting enough, but, I know it's a unique situation probably to my household, but my daughter steals my food. She's almost 2, and she likes to come by and steal my food. Literally. Just takes my plate or my bowl and eats my food for me. So I'm not getting nearly as much food as I thought that I was. So I actually have to add extra food to my meals to make sure that I get how much I need, and then my daughter can have the excess. Because even though I give her her own bowl or plate, she somehow thinks that mine tastes better. Yeah, I think it's pretty tasty. But, and I seriously doubt that you're having to deal with your coworkers coming up to your desk and stealing your lunch. If you are, you need to talk to management about that. But, in this household, that's kind of how it goes, is that, I'll be eating and she takes a good amount of it. So I have to make sure that I accommodate for that, to make sure that I get all of the food that I need to be eating. So, again, lay out all of your food for the day, see what all you're eating for the day, really be honest with yourself, make sure that you're getting enough fuel of what you actually need, make sure you're getting enough protein at every single meal, enough carbs, enough of those vegetables that you should be getting, because you need as many nutrients as possible. Don't forget to take your vitamins. You need to be taking vitamins. If you want to know specifically which ones you should be taking, talk to your doctor. Doctors can really be helpful with that. Make an appointment specifically to talk about this kind of stuff. Because if you're trying to get and write a list of questions, honestly, and take it with you, because otherwise you're going to be focusing on other things and not really get your doctor's attention for those specific items. So take your time, go in there and talk to a doctor. If you need specific nutritional information for yourself, please go talk to a nutritionist, talk to a dietitian, somebody that can really help you pinpoint exactly what you need for you. Because no matter what, when you look online, they give you as many general guidelines as you can, and you have to try to get everything as specific for yourself as possible. But bottom line is, unless somebody knows your exact body makeup and exactly what your goals are and exactly how much you weigh and what proportion of that is fat versus, body tissue, there's no way that we can do that kind of stuff online or over the phone or through email and stuff like that. So make sure that you go and, utilize as many resources as you can to really get the information that you need so you properly fuel your body for what you want, and you can build whatever body you want. So stay sweat-tastic, you guys, and I'll see you on the slimmer side.